Welcome to InsurtechLIVE 25. I'm Louise Latta, Partner Manager at E5 Workflow, and I'll be your host for today. I'm a little bit nervous, I must admit. I'm taking my mum hat off today after 5 months of maternity leave, so coming up in front of a crowd of 300 people is probably not the best way to do that. In all seriousness, this event is my favourite on the calendar every year. Simone and the team have built a really good community for Insurtech, and it continues to build and get bigger every year. First of all, I'd like to introduce Uncle Michael West from Metropolitan Local Aboriginal Council to the stage to do our Welcome to Country. A member of the Stolen Generation, Michael was born and raised in the Sydney community.
I'd like to say Bajadi Gamarua. G'day everyone, how are you? Excellent, excellent. Look, I'm from, my original background's IT, so analyst program, systems designer and everything, so I do understand you guys a bit, and I think it's so important to create systems that are appropriate and to tap into the technology. And specifically when you think about it, I do understand insurance too, and how all the different variables that you have, especially with considering Mother Earth and all the things that are happening now with Mother Earth, like the fires in California, the floods up in Queensland, and the fires down in Victoria that we've had recently, how important it is to take all these into account. And I do understand actually, so I'm on the spectrum ADHD, so information to me is very important, and to making informed decisions and looking at the data and understanding everything. I'd like to say where we are here, we have the most beautiful harbour in the world here in Sydney. Obviously a bit biased. I was going to say a traditional canoe in Sydney, bark canoe, is called a Nawee. We also have a suburb called Nawee in Sydney here. And paddling out on that beautiful harbour, if you're paddling and you saw the Opera House, that was an island there before, an island with middens, and the middens are a collection of shells. So what would happen, people would come together, they'd have a yarn, they'd have a food, and they'd be sustainability about seeing what resources you are using. And if you were out in a Nawee, it'd more likely be a woman out in a Nawee, and she'd be paddling around out there fishing, and she would have a fishing hook like the one that's represented in a big sculpture just above the Opera House on the lawn up there. It's called Barra, B-A-R-A. It's in the shape of a Gadigal woman's fishing hook made from a shell. So she'd be out there. At night, there'd be a little light in the Nawee as they're paddling around fishing. Now, obviously, where the Opera House is called Bennelong Point, because Bennelong had a place there. Bennelong is now resting, I'll explain in a second. So Opera House, that's called Jubbagali, traditionally that land there. The middens were taken, they were used in the building, so Macquarie Street here in Sydney, the older British buildings, you'll see little specks of shells in there, that's the lime. Also down at the Rocks, which is called Tullawallada, and you look at Argyle Street and the old buildings down there, you'll see little specks of shells, and that's the lime in there. The other side of the coat hanger is Camaragal country, and paddling inland past here, you would go to Wongal next on our left, and that's where it takes in Olympic Park too. The other side is Wallamadigal Ride and Roads, and that's where Bennelong is resting with other Aboriginal people. Bennelong actually having that place out there, and that's why it's Bennelong Point. And you keep going, you actually hit Barramadigal clan, Barra meaning eel. And obviously Parramatta is named after the Barramadigal clan, and there's a whole creation story about Barra creating the waterways in the harbour, and just resting not too far from here, there's a little island called Memel, M-E-M-E-L, or Memel, aka Goat Island. It's very important in these places to learn about this. No doubt many of the corporate worlds these days and organisations and government have reconciliation action plans, so it's all about a journey of learning. And when we do citizenship ceremonies, I say that, or we say that once you become a naturalised Australian, or whether born Australian, that you have a responsibility to look after our culture and our sites, because they go back more than 65,000 years. We do, the oldest living continuous civilisation and culture in the world today. And I was saying in New South Wales, we're lucky we have those Brewarrina fish traps, which is a place of trading. It's rocks and stones arranged in a way to manage the fish flow so you can easily take the fish. Also, the trading place was Barra Maricos, a trading place, obviously being Barra being a totem. Other totems are whales, which come in here. They would come in here and go down to Gomera, which is Darling Harbour with their little calves. So when you're down the ICC, you'll see on the panels there's little depictions and the story of them coming in here with their cars for resting. Unfortunately, they can't go down there these days because of the boats and the bridge, but they do come in here to visit us. Over many millennia, they've come to here visit us. Our totems are very important to us, as like Barra, who migrates to the South Pacific. Barra is one of our totems. Do you know what totems are? Totems? Totems are an animal that we have a spiritual connection to, and they're also family. So the whales, when they come in here, they would be protected. And also on the north side there, in Camaragal over at Ball's Head, there is an engraving of a whale. And there's also a engraving at Bering Island of sharks, which reside around there too. I'll get you guys to get your phones out. I want to just show you something too. And I am judging you against kids and also Google, where I was just at. So Huntingbird Manuscript Vatican. Huntingbird Manuscript Vatican. One can only imagine the Pope and the Cardinals looking at this wonderful picture of our totem. Huntingbird Manuscript Vatican. Other animals that are totems are Bunda, which is kangaroo, and Dinawan, which is emu in central New South Wales. And they are on our coat of arms. The unique thing is they go forward. They don't go backwards. They can only move forward, but it's also important when you think about it in the context of things to understand the past, acknowledge the past, but also understand the present that you're in. So Huntingbird Manuscript Vatican, and one can only imagine the popes and that looking at this. So what's there? A cockatoo, yes. And what century is that? 13th century, yes. 1241, just shy of 800 years, isn't it? Yes, not a couple of decades less than that. So what is a cockatoo like? Everyone says loud or noisy. They are loud or noisy. They do that, don't they? Yes, does that sound like them? Yes, when they're doing that, they're doing... I've watched, I think it was a female on the branch and the two males on the trunk, and they were doing that and sort of voguing there with their wings and their little... one might say to impress the female, I think. But they are noisy, they're intelligent, they are cheeky, they are mischievous, and they can be quite destructive, so you don't upset them. Yes, they have their own unique personality, and I think it's depicted in that picture. It shows that they have attitude. Yes, I see that face in May every year down at Carriage Works. I see humans with that same face walking around. What do you think I'm at? I'm at Australian Fashion Week. Yes, they're the models there. Yes, have you ever been to a fashion parade? You should go. You'll see that face. They do have that face. Someone said to me, maybe they're hungry. I don't know. We all need a bit of a laugh, don't we? It's important. My family always said to me, try and have a bit of a laugh every day. Also, don't go to bed angry, and make sure you treat others the way you want to be treated. I think it's a good way to go. It's also important we take a moment's silence to pay respect to our ancestors. Different cultures require that. Pay respects to Mother Earth, as you guys know, insurance, how important it is, and the impacts of not caring for country, and how we can do better for this planet, and also reflect our journey right here, right now. Pay respects to all Aboriginal Torres Strait Islander, Drush owners, elders and custodians of the past and present, and think about how we can send love and respect around the world, because we're going through very difficult times, aren't we? So if we just have a moment's silence, a moment of paying respects and a moment of reflection, thanks. Water falls from heaven, Landsor Mother finds its way to the rivers and the ocean. We have the Hawkesbury to the north, the Georges to the south, Nepean to the west. These are the aquatic boundaries of the Eora Nation. On behalf of Metropolitan Local Aboriginal Land Council, elders and members, welcome everyone here. Enjoy your time here. Do take in the beautiful scenery, and I think water's very calming for people when you look at it and think of it. And think about Barra migrating through here and the whales coming through here. And we want you to have a safe stay, surf journey, your family and loved ones. That's from our elders and that's from our members. And one other totem that I think needs to be respected is, and it has a parallel with Aboriginal people, it's dispossessed of its country because we haven't cared for it for droughts. It's come to live in the city and it's being blamed for its situation. It's a white bird, black tail feathers, a long neck and a long beak, and it has a bit of a bald patch on the back of its head. Who am I talking about? The sacred ibis. Please don't call me a bin chicken, thanks. I'm not. I'm the sacred ibis. It's not my fault. You humans haven't cared for my country. I've had to come and live in the city. And I remember when they weren't here. I've had to come and live in the city. I'm trying to make the most of it. I'm a very graceful bird. Watch me fly against the cockatoo. I'm gliding and I'm very graceful. And I need to be respected. We need to respect all the animals and respect each other. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land never ceded. Thanks.
So to get started today, she doesn't really need an introduction, but I'd like to introduce Simone Dossetor, CEO of Insurtech Australia, up to the stage.
Hi everyone, it's great to see you all again in this big room. I wanted to add my thanks to Michael for his really warm and informative welcome. It's so important that we acknowledge the traditional owners of their land. And a huge thank you to Louise for hosting us today. When I said to her about 5 months ago, do you want to be the host this year? Immediately she said yes, even though she was on mat leave about 2 weeks later. And so I knew you were the right person to kind of steer us safely through today. Oh, I've got a clicker as well, hang on. So today is all about connecting, learning, showcasing the best of Insurtech talent in Australia. It's a crucial feature of our event is it's the opportunity to bring together our entire community. And it was so nice being in the exhibition hall and seeing so many familiar faces and making introductions. We're not just selling tech, tickets and advertising. We're providing a platform for connection. And so with that, I welcome our new partners. So we have 14 new Insurtech partners who've joined over the last year, and we have 20 new Insurtech members. And we're going to hear from 4 of those later today in the pitch event. It's really fantastic to have you all as part of our community. This year we've also seen a big increase of attendees that aren't yet part of our community, over 55% who are attending today. And so we really welcome you, and we really hope that next year your logo will be up on the slide as well. I also wanted to make a call out to our most long-standing and loyal supporters. Those who've been with us since the start as an independent association almost 6 years ago. For the Insurtechs on the left, there have been changes in business model, brands and ownership, but you've remained focused on improving the insurance industry. And for the partners, also some change in people, branding and ownership, but your support for us has been unwavering. So thank you, Colin, Dan, Richard, Daniel, Juliet, Ben, Nick, Paul, Bruce, Aurora. James, Lyndon and Sam, Michael, Katrina, Chris, Andy, Charmin and Jendine. I know I'm a bit biased, but I think we do have the best agenda yet today. So my ask of all of you, whether this is your first InsurtechLIVE or your 4th, is to really leave today with a plan of how you can help us build the future of global insurance right here in Australia. The biggest single complaint I hear from Insurtech and insurer alike is how slow the insurance sector is. We have long buying and partnership times. It's not unusual to hear of deals taking 12, 24, 48 months. So we really want to be able to work out how can we work better between Insurtech and insurer? How can we improve that customer experience and outcomes? And how can we really take advantage of the acceleration of technology that AI is bringing? We need to be open to the external perspectives, not just insularly focused on our own fantastic solution or bogged down in our inbox and all the inertia of our internal meetings. And that's something that we really want to help you to do. How can we bring as a core capability the intelligence on what's happening, both locally and globally? And we think both of these are really important. Locally, we have our pitch events, our networking delegations, networking and roundtables, and we also bring you international insights through the delegations to the UK, US and Asia. And today I'm really excited to bring these external perspectives right here in our own backyard. We have Brian Fulchuk, who you'll hear from shortly from the US, and later today, Stephen Barnum from Japan. And they're delivering their keynotes to bring you insights from their respective markets and their sectors. But to move beyond the ideas and action, we really need an ecosystem of allies and advocates. We need to better understand and share our problems, and we need to be able to have people who are willing to make connections and to remove barriers. We exist as Insurtech Australia to bring the future of global insurance right here. We need your participation, ideas, enthusiasm, but most importantly, we need your financial support by joining our ecosystem. Really, this helps to make it happen. So thank you to all the members and partners who've continued to support us over the years, and we hope to welcome many more of you next year. Before I hand over, a few thank yous to our organising committee and our board, and to all our members and partners. You make today and everything we do possible. And a huge call out to our small but mighty team, Anna, Carolyn, Lawrence. You're all awesome. It's a great day. I wanted to thank, we've had continuing support from all our partners for InsurtechLIVE. So EY is our market growth partner, our 4 affiliate partners, E5, Encia, Finity and Grappler. Lots of great networking and other supporters. We'll have drinks later, lots of afternoon tea, coffee and luncheons. And we've got a great hall of exhibitors that you've already seen. So do introduce yourself, find out if they're not necessarily something that's relevant, but just understand what they're doing, and it'll really make the day fantastic. Thank you, everyone.